guys, Alexa B Alchemy here today to talk about yin and yang, or masculine and feminine energies. If you look at nature, the cycle of life, pretty much everything living and breathing around you, you will find masculine and feminine energies. And it's really important to understand these as a person so you can recognize which pieces of me are divine masculine and divine feminine, as well as which pieces of my masculine and feminine energy are potentially unhealed and causing a lot of distress in my life. Now, for those of you who have been following me for a long time, you may be aware that I like to break things down into energetics as a concept. And if you have not been following me for a while, hello, welcome. Please make sure you subscribe to the page, click the notification bell. I'm actually posting a new video every single day this week. What the? So I'm going to start today by talking about feminine energy, or yin energy. Divine feminine energy is extremely intuitive. It's very, very much deep feeling, creative, thinking about things in a very flowy kind of a way. This energy tends to be very, very trusting and also very magnetic. And when the divine feminine is healthy, it's also capable of being very vulnerable, very receptive. The art of receiving is a very feminine thing. And in this way, it's capable of receiving the feelings of others in the way of being empathetic. A healthy feminine state will be able to welcome someone into their arms, nourish them, love them, cherish them, but also have very strong boundaries whilst doing that. Another point that I really like to highlight with feminine energy is it's all about surrender. And I don't mean surrender like, oh, I give up. I more mean surrender in the way of like acceptance, accepting. Again, this is all about receiving. So accepting into your experience, accepting into yourself, this is my reality. I will surrender to this experience, not to be a victim, but to allow myself to transmute this experience if it needs to be transmuted, to again receive the message from it, receive whatever I'm meant to receive, so that I can work through it and flow through it. This is the beauty of divine feminine energy. Now, divine masculine energy is equally as supportive, because just as the feminine is the flow, it's the expression. Expression needs a container. Like, think about art. If you want to paint something, you need a canvas on which to paint. So divine masculine is the container through which this divine feminine energy is allowed to unfold. Healthy masculine energy also has very good, strong boundaries, but is capable of giving. So the masculine energy, the divine masculine, is very supportive. And again, divine feminine is supportive in the way of I can receive you, I can hold you. Divine masculine is supportive in the way of what can I give to you. Yang energy is also capable of being deeply, deeply present with any given moment, and to do so without judgment. Is also extremely logical, very confident, very focused, able to achieve things in almost a more linear way. Sometimes we need to be direct, we need to be straightforward, we need to get straight to the point without beating around the bush. And this is one of the beautiful gifts of divine masculine energy. Our divine masculine is what enables us to take responsibility for ourselves and for our actions. A big piece of our integrity is rooted in masculine energy. So our honesty, our ability to be straightforward, this is all rooted in having a healthy relationship with your yang energy. And one person in a very healthy state is able to combine both healthy masculine and healthy feminine all into one unique experience. So they're able to be both the container, so to speak, the safety net, the logic, the straightforwardness, the honesty, and they can also hold within them creativity, passion, flow, alignment, and surrender. So if you look at your own life, I'm sure there's situations, whether it's in work or in your relationships, within your relationship to yourself, how you operate, how you speak to people, where you will find the feminine can be a little bit more dominant, and there's other areas where you'll find the masculine being a little bit more dominant. And everyone is gifted with different ratios of these, so neither one is wrong. But again, it's really helpful to understand where do I come from and what is true for me. And what's true for me today may be a little bit different than yesterday. I woke up today and realized, wow, I am deep in my feminine. I am not gonna be hard-hitting. I am not gonna be in the achiever, goal-setting, working hard, straight to the point mode. I'm more in the mode of like, I wanna take a bath, maybe paint something, create something for the world. That's more the space I woke up in today. But I totally recognize and value and respect that tomorrow I could wake up and feel a little bit more ambitious. That is a great day for me to know, like, okay, today I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna get this done, I'm gonna be efficient, I'm gonna go here, I'm gonna go there. And both of those energies have a place in our life, and both of them can bring immense amounts of value. So if we want to get the most enriched life experience, it's super helpful to be able to identify what's masculine, what's feminine, and what is a healthy way for me to balance out the existence of both, because inherently every single one of us will embody masculine and feminine qualities. But we also have to keep in mind that sometimes when we bring our masculine energy up to the forefront, or if we bring our feminine energy up to the forefront, if that gets injured in some way or has been injured or traumatized as a child, we may be living with a wounded masculine, a wounded feminine, or both. So let's say when I was a child and I was born, my feminine energy was somehow ridiculed. Let's say I painted a picture and someone said, "Why are you wasting your time?" I may grow up to have wounded feminine energy. And the way wounded feminine energy can present itself can look extremely needy, codependent, insecure, or even manipulative. Because this internal need for myself and, growing up, the people around me to show me how to validate this part of myself, if that need is not met, if I feel like my creativity, my flow, my capacity to surrender and accept, if for whatever reason I am traumatized by receiving, by accepting, etc., I'm going to grow up with belief systems and patterns of being that actually prevent me from receiving because I don't know how to do so properly. And so because my energetic body knows that it needs to be creative and needs to have flow, but it doesn't understand how to receive that in a healthy way, I may be more manipulative in the way that I treat or work with other people. Wounded feminine energy can also look like being inauthentic or not really true to who you are. It can look like being overly emotional, and sometimes it looks like taking over the role of a victim, which if that's something that resonates with you, please make sure that you check out my latest video called Victimhood and Sovereignty. And so I should mention that when a divine masculine or divine feminine energy is wounded, it may present itself in an over concentration of yin or yang energy or an under concentration. What I mean by that is, for example, for the feminine, if your feminine is wounded, she may be coddling and super, again, overly emotional. That would be a high concentration of yin energy. Now, of course, we can also have a wounded masculine. So perhaps your creativity was loved and cherished and you were really able to surrender to the flow of life, but maybe something in your childhood with your masculine energy made you feel like it was unworthy or not enough, or in some way your masculine energy was wounded. So what a wounded masculine energy can look like is typically a little bit more controlling and aggressive. The wounded masculine is what causes us to withdraw or to avoid emotions, to shut down, to bar people out, and sometimes to deny our own experiences or reject what is our reality. An unhealthy masculine energy can also be a little bit unstable. It may also be too competitive or even abusive at times. So in this regard, it's taking that logical, straight to the point energy, and instead of using that for good, it thrusts that energy upon someone else in some way, shape, or form, because the wounded masculine's needs are not being met and the wounded masculine is not being validated and loved, or does not feel validated and loved. So in this regard, it's possible for both your masculine and feminine energies to be wounded, but it's also possible for both masculine and feminine energies to be healed. And in my own experience, the best way to heal these energies is to work with your inner child, work with your shadow, and reprogram your mind by reparenting yourself. The best ways that you can work with your own mind is to go into the subconscious mind. This is when your mind is in theta wave state, because at theta wave state, your brain is able to create new neural pathways. So when we're growing up, when we're basically born to the age of 7, our brain is in theta wave state. That's why children pick up things very intuitively. That's also why habits or belief systems that are formed in our younger years can still affect us 20 years down the road when we're adults and we're like, why does this bug me? This happened so long ago. But if it's deeply rooted in our subconscious mind, we can't logic our way out of that. We have to go into the subconscious mind to rewire, reprogram those belief systems, reprogram those thought patterns so that we're able to work with them moving forward. So a few of my favorite tricks you can do here. Meditation is a great way to get into theta wave state. You can also look into seeing someone for hypnosis, EMDR, or any other kind of therapy that helps get your brain into the theta wave state. And once you're in that state, very actively and consciously bringing up either memories that may have triggered the woundings in your masculine or feminine, and providing for your younger self what you needed in that time that perhaps you didn't receive. With that being said, different people do have different degrees of trauma. So the degree to which and the frequency with which you may have to go into these modes to reprogram may vary. And I highly suggest that you look into a program, a practitioner, or coach to help you work through this process. With that being said, once you have emotionally worked through all of those pieces, there is of course the logical component, which is why I made this video, to logically work through, make sense of, and make peace with the different pieces of your soul's being. and the way that they present themselves. And that some days you'll wake up and say, wow, my wounded feminine is feeling triggered today. I'm feeling particularly codependent. What do I need? I need to be able to receive comfortably. What do I need to be able to receive comfortably? And in this way, you create a better understanding of what it is that you truly actually need. And in the form of wounded masculine, you may see like, wow, I'm feeling really controlling today, and I'm angry, and I'm feeling aggressive and kind of violent. That's a beautiful opportunity to look at what needs are not being met, or what needs were not met as a child, and this specific situation or day or something about my experience now is reminding me of that, so it's triggering that wounded masculine. Perhaps I was never modeled how to logically work through situations without becoming aggressive. Perhaps I didn't have strong masculine energy to support me. Or perhaps my masculine was not nourished enough by the feminine, because again, these two pieces do work together. So sometimes I find that having wounded feminine energy can come from not having a strong feminine energy growing up to look up to. And sometimes having a wounded feminine energy can also look like having been interacted with negatively with masculine energy. So they can play off of each other, and that is very important to remember. It's not always going to be super linear. That is the beauty and also the quote-unquote curse of the yin-yang system. One does not exist without the other. So I really hope that this was helpful. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure that you subscribe here. Follow me on Instagram. I share content there daily that I'm not sharing here on YouTube. And also I'm on TikTok, all of the above under alexab.alchemy. You guys have a beautiful rest of your day, and I will see you tomorrow for the next one. Cheers!